With Venus past Chiron, headed into Taurus, she now has a prescription from the conjunction that she had with Chiron in Aries. And this is a prescription for crisis in the identity, crisis in a sense of the value that we have or the value that we have or have not procured in our experiences, as well as how we relate to the expression of the fifth house and what it takes to express that fifth house. Are there thorns, barbed wires, all kinds of pains surrounding the expression of that fifth house? Is there pain and injury around the expression of the first house as you authentically are? Do you find that maybe you don't have the support that you really need, the emotional reinforcement that you may need? You may find that there are many things lacking. There are many things that may prove to be inauthentic in your experience, dissatisfying, or liabilities even. But either way, the good and the bad, there's a prescription that Chiron writes, because Chiron, the wounded healer, looks over Venus. And Venus looks over Chiron. And knowing that she is headed into Taurus, where she's quite resourceful in her own field, in her own territory and dominion, there's much that she could do to address the crisis. But first, we had to get some vulnerability. We had to get ourselves to a vulnerable state. And that vulnerable state is if we activate your natural cosmic connection to the fifth house and what it is that you are here to truly express. What happens when you go into full expression of that? Is there a backlash? Is there a rejection? Is there a isolation? Is there a disconnect? Is there something that may have reminded you of what you have been suffering on the way up this hill altogether, with that big gourd of water spilling all over the place, falling out of the water gourd, and you are manifesting Aquarius symbol as you're walking up to bring something so valuable, but yet everyone looks at it as if you just got it from the dollar store. Nobody cares. Nobody could give a shit. You understand? Not knowing what you had to go through to get it there, to get to that point, to cultivate that wisdom, to manifest that wisdom. And here you are with it, water spilling everywhere. You will find that meaning fulfilled in Aquarius, your Pluto point at Aquarius. Right there is where this conjunction of Venus and Chiron could give you insights into where you are about to get more fit when it comes to progressing the next degree of personal evolution through Pluto on Aquarius terms, according to your personal natal birth chart. You want to get with me if you want personal insights into what that means. Sagittarius Black Moon Lilith is certainly behind this, because we are now at the degree of the heretic, second decan of Sagittarius. Just entering the degrees of the heretic, second decan of Sagittarius Black Moon Lilith, the heretic. The heretic is what was being introduced of who you are. Who you are, because who you really are, it has to start as a heretic. We were on a global agreement in this collective timeline that we were not to be our true and original selves. Some of us have been successful to find the original and true expression the true and original voice, and it is nothing pretty. It is nothing decorated. It is nothing proper. It is quite improper. And it may have been your first glance of yourself as the heretic. Your hair got messy, some sweat poured down your forehead, you seemed indignant, people clutched their pearls, as I always tell you. They gasp for air, they sit back and look, oh, what has gotten into you? Well, that's the real person. That's the person that we need. That's the real one in there that's been hiding, trying to agree and conform. We don't need the other one. The one who appears to have it all together. The dignified, the dignitary. We don't need him. We don't need her. They can't help us. Leave that in South Node, Virgo. We need the real representation of yourself. May the real person please come forward. This initiates a full expression of the heretic. There is heretic wisdom. There is heretic expression. There is heretic disposition that contextualizes how you will begin the fifth house expression, championing it into your identity. Venus champions the fifth house. The fifth house is the glory of Venus. Understand that. The fifth house. To get the fifth house incorporated into the personality, you have to meet all resistance. You have to expose around you where are the real and disingenuous connections around you. Where's the superficiality in yourself and outside of yourself immediately in your environment? You got to get to the real in you, and you got to get to the real around you, because there also has to be real accommodation for it. Because there's nothing that you can do all by yourself. You got to get fake motherfuckers from around you. That's part of it too. You have to be willing to be the heretic. To be the one who everybody steps back and says, this is a strange person. Something's possessed you. Something's gotten into you. How else do you think you're going to fight this dragon that's showing itself all over the world right now? Collectively, we've got to get into the right spirit and the right mode. And that is authenticity and truth. If you still trying to be comfortable and proper, you can't help us fight. You're in the way, you're dead weight. Sagittarius, Black Moon, Lilith is the context, the spirit, the point of delivery, the means by which we give a tempo or set a tempo to how the fifth house is going to be expressed. And right now you're learning to hold your identity as the accused heretic. You're learning to hold your frame as the accused heretic. You're learning to stand your ground as the accused heretic. You're learning to stand in your position as the accused heretic. And it means you may lose a lot of people, but don't worry, you will gain the right ones. Venus, of course, also brings in seventh house relationships. This is Libra, and you understand that the full moon Libra is on the way. And in the full moon Libra, we will have references to what we experience during the Venus and Chiron conjunction in Aries. That will be part of what informs us on what needs to close out, what needs to get the fuck on. What needs to end? Where's the dead weight? What's in the way? What's a blockage? What is finished? Out with the old, so we can get on with the new. What no longer needs to be entertained and poured into, what is sucking my blood, draining of my energy and my spirit. The insight of the full moon that's coming up in Libra will indeed come from the conjunction of Venus and Chiron in Aries. As I told you before, this has a lot to do with useful idiocy. The expectation that you would remain the useful idiot of others. That your gifts, that your identity, that your power, your authority, your talents would serve their small frame ideals over you or for you. But it is for us to consult our heart into how we are supposed to show up and what for, and exactly for what reason, remaining authentic. Libra is the home of the codependent, the home of the emotionally insecure, right along with Pisces. The place where self-betrayal has its sharpest expression. Self-betrayal. Full moon Libra will close up our idea of ever entertaining self-betrayal again. Let me be called a heretic. Let me be charged as the heretic because I can't see myself betraying myself again. I can't see myself playing with your little fake games that you like to play around here. I can't see myself being a fake ass bitch like a lot of y'all motherfuckers is. I can't see myself living like that. I gotta respect who I'm looking at in the mirror. It ends the idea that I'm just supposed to continue being used by everybody. I have to be in a personification, an idea, or a dignity that benefits everything except for myself or the mission that I know I came here for. No, I think not. This full moon Libra will close that idea to entertain. And the relationships that continue to nurture these cycles that are inappropriate. The seventh house should be a polarity to the first house. Not a place of captivity. A place of oppression. Energy leakage. Vampirism. A cause for the repetition of toxic cycles and illusions in the life. The seventh house is to be the handle of the knife. It is where the proper hand grips the proper handle to drive the proper knife. Aries, the tip of the knife. It's realizing that you either have the wrong kind of grip on it, you're gripping too tight or you're gripping too light, the wrong motherfucker's hands is on it, and you may need to choose who's more sincere to grip that handle to help you to drive that blade. Are the contracts that are running and open in your life truly supporting who you've decided to be? Is it really supportive of it? Are they worthy of what you have to bring and offer? What you are about, your presence, and the effects of it? The opportunities in it. Is this a worthy counsel? Is this a worthy community? Is this a worthy group? Is this a worthy connection? Much suffering could have been shown in that conjunction. Much suffering. With Venus moving on past Chiron, the pain, the suffering, the disillusionment, and now becomes wisdom gradually as she makes her way into Taurus. So we are now in the process of generating all of this intensification into wisdom. By the time Venus leaves Aries and enters into Taurus, and we have the full moon in Libra, the full moon Libra will close the bag of this wisdom. It will close the deal of this solidification or culmination of wisdom. It is the full moon Libra that is compacting this wisdom, filtering this wisdom, giving and releasing this wisdom to us. It is through this full moon cycle phase at Libra. That is the wisdom that comes from that conjunction in which Venus is past Chiron now, so it now becomes medicinal. It becomes wisdom. The venom becomes antidote. Be wise what you do with it. Be wise what you do with it. All of this informs Taurus series as well. Taurus series as well. And with Venus going into Taurus, of course, this addresses the real underlying issue, which is where our self-esteem is at in all of this pain and inadequacy at Aries Chiron transit. To deal with self-esteem, we have to go to the second house. The second house is where we manage self-esteem. It's where we develop self-esteem. It's where we heal self-esteem. We know that Venus is going to do so through positive experiences and connections of the fifth house, positive experiences and connections of the seventh house, as well as positive experiences and connections of the second house. That is second house, fifth house, and seventh house, as well as Taurus, Leo, and Libra. Through these areas, we will see that there will be faded opportunities for our self-esteem to be on a healing course, a direction of healing. And that healing is not to walk around shot up with morphine, high as a fucking kite, and you're feeling good, listening to damn, some feel good type shit that you love to listen to. Don't be delusional. That healing is 99% finding acceptance. Finding acceptance. The healing is also aligning with what is more authentic than what you used to entertain. What does this sound like already? It sounds like you are processing these things through Scorpio. You obviously are going to process and transmute these things through Scorpio. With the full moon coming into Libra, you all know that Scorpio comes after Libra. Scorpio comes after Libra. So the moon is already near full intensity by the time it comes into Scorpio. And there goes your transmutation right there. Come on, people. Come on. Once you come out of the transmutation, we still have an intensified moon at Sagittarius. This kickstarts you on the proper tempo. It kickstarts you on the proper tempo with Sagittarius Black Moon Lilith expression. Speaking with fire, expressing with fire and conviction. even to the point of being accused as a heretic. Why? Because you are making liars uncomfortable. You are making liars insecure. You are making them doubt themselves. You are making them question themselves. You are making them question and doubt how they are living their life. Whether or not their secrets will ever be exposed. Whether or not they have karma or consequences on the way for the lie that they know they are living. If only you understood. Taurus also deals with finances. There may be a new way that you have to go about generating finances, procuring finances, or expanding what you already have going on. You could expect that financially you may come up with new strategies and how to secure yourself and stabilize yourself financially in ways that are more authentic, that doesn't have you living in a way or expressing in a way that does not fit who you want to be or who you feel you are supposed to be. This means that change is here. Changes are here. We are at change. And with changes being made, there's things that you no longer can do, things that you no longer can entertain based on the conclusive findings in your spirit of Chiron and Venus conjunction and all of these things that I'm explaining along with it. 99% of most adults' day goes to generating finances or raising their children. That's where the majority of your day goes at. So if you find that there's conflict in who you're being every day, obviously your career has to be closely examined. How you get money has to be closely examined. Whether or not it reflects authenticity and sincerity in your life, truthfulness in your life. Is it real? Can you continue doing this way? And how can I incorporate the fifth house into the means by which I procure finances or stability for myself? It's coming to the realization that my gifts and my talents is what's supposed to make way for me, because that is God's way, not the corporate way. The corporate way is you pushing pens and doing things that ain't got nothing to do with who you really are, but you're getting a check from it. So you swallow who you are and you expand who they want you to be so that you can keep that money going for that skyscraper. But this is different when you're doing it God's way. God said your talents and your gifts are supposed to make a way for you. So this is one step closer to you allowing your talents and your gifts to make a way for you. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be pruning flowers, and there's nothing wrong with that. Whatever your gift is, cutting hair, healing people, babysitting, I don't know, a medicine worker. Whatever your thing is, everybody has different things that they're here to do. But it's time to do what's authentic to your heart to do, because the new exchange is talent. The new currency is talent and authenticity. That is the new currency, and we're switching to that currency right now. Do we understand this? Mars is conjunct Pallas Athena and Pisces, which echoes this very fact. I reminded you all about Pallas Athena in Pisces already, which is the fact that it has the ability to go to war through arts. So if you look at Drewski, he went to war against these demons in high places using artwork. He went against that damn devil, Erica Kirk, and he did it with artwork. He finessed it beautifully. He executed beautifully. He went to war with artwork. He carried on a legacy of the Black American, which is to challenge all falsehoods and lies. to be the revolutionary through creative means, mysterious means. And he pushed a pall all throughout America. He caused the clutching of pearls all throughout America. Something your bitch ass supposed to be doing, but you too fucking pussy to find a way to do it. How about that? Something your pussy ass supposed to be fucking doing. He did it. That's Pallas Athena Pisces. 100% truth that hurls itself at falsehood. And ain't nothing you can do about it. This is lining you up to find the damn guts to do the same damn thing. What do they call him as a result of that? A heretic, do they not? Okay then, motherfucker. Second decan, Sagittarius, Black Moon Lilith, he is right on time. Something your bitch ass supposed to be doing. But you too shook and selfish. You can't get a line. Because you got too much comfort to be concerned about. Too much dignity and face to save in the eyes of other people. You can't get loose. You can't get loose. Some of us is free and some of us is not free. And ironically, it seems like niggas is always free. But a lot of y'all uptight motherfuckers can't find a way to be free. Because they're too used to your damn comfort. You a slave. Now ain't that some irony for your motherfucking ass? Pallas Athena is not something to overlook. Pallas Athena certainly relates to not only the sufferings that you had during the Saturn and Neptune transit of Pisces, but also every experience that you have ever had during that transit. These are sharp insights into the internet and the culture over the internet and how influence and behavior works and operates. It's your awareness of truth through these means as well. It is strategic wisdom that allows you to view with sharp intelligence at patterns in this society, in this world. Deep intelligence, intuitively. It is not the intelligence of being a fucking nerd. It's the intelligence that you see black people walk around with every day. Black people have intuitive intelligence that they are naturally born with. They could call bullshit. They know when you're lying. They know when you're bullshitting. They know when you're full of shit. And they're very good at imitating motherfuckers because we pick up on patterns and behavior very naturally. So we can imitate your ass in order to make fun of your ass. And that is something intuitive. It is intuitive intelligence. That same intelligence can transcend all lines of your expressions if you can tune into it. But you got to get real to get to it. If you're not real, you can't access it. So if your bitch ass walking around here fake, stuck up, high, nose stuck up in the damn air and can't get to the real person, you don't know nothing about that. It's intuitive wisdom that you're supposed to use in combination with that fifth house, the gift and talent that you have burning a furnace in your heart. But you got to identify the portion of truth in this life that you are here to keep illuminated. And that's where your warpath is at as well. You have a warpath with truth. What is your portion of warpath with truth? You can find that in the combinations in your chart. Like, for example, where you have Scorpio, that is a warpath. And the house is the context of that warpath. For example, if I have Scorpio in the 4th house, with Scorpio in the 4th house, my warpath is the domestic crisis and experience. Because I have the sun in the 11th house, it's for the collective. Understand that. So I go to war on whatever enemies there are to the domestic opportunities that we should have as a collective, as a people. Cancer at the 12th house, the Leo rising, is the concept of the grandmother. It's a concept of the grandmother who mobilizes the will of the grandmother through the grandfather, Leo. You got to know your damn self. You got to study yourself. It's not enough to just be putting up damn charts and shit, talking like a fucking nerd. Put your soul in it. Put your heart and soul in it. It ain't enough soul and spirit going in this thing. You just leave it in your head and it don't reach your heart. You can't get nowhere like that. You gotta learn how to become a fighter. Where's your fight? Aries is your first warpath. Aries is your first warpath. I have Aries at the 9th house. My warpath is thought, belief. Thought and beliefs. I fight false beliefs. I fight bullshit that you're thinking. I fight all the damn lies that white man done spread all over the fucking earth that you eating up. I expose all these illusions that goddamn Khazarians running around here filling your head up with, such as feminism. Shit you don't want to hear. And the reason it's a battle, because your bitch ass don't want to hear it. That's why it's a damn battle. Venus conjunct Chiron in Aries was a moment of vulnerability. That moment of vulnerability, it lets you know where the authenticity is at. It's like ripping away all the layers and you get to the layer of the authenticity. All the layers may have been yellow and green, and a layer of authenticity may have been red. You peel back the yellow and green so you could get to the red, and you peel everything off until you have nothing but the red left. That vulnerability. So now that you know who you are as a vulnerable person, you also know who you are as an authentic person. So it goes hand in hand. Whoever you were as that vulnerable person is exactly who you really are as the authentic person. And don't change that damn dial. Keep it there. Stay that person. Stay in that frequency. Stay in that attitude, that energy, and that rhythm. Don't change it. Be yourself. Be real. Be who you really are. Welcome home party for Venus coming into Taurus. 2nd house is where there's going to be, where we can expect that cultivation now takes place. Cultivation is the principle. Cultivation is the attitude. Cultivation is the energy. Cultivation is the proper term and word when it comes to Taurus. It's about cultivation. Cultivation. Whatever dissatisfaction there was at the 1st house, whatever vulnerabilities or problems, issues that there were in that conjunction of Chiron and Venus, we have to go to Taurus in order to home in on a sense of self-esteem and value behind the identity that fortifies and sustains the identity. Why is cultivation such an important principle? It is an important principle because cultivation is what allows us to remain sedentary. It is what allows us to remain fixed in a particular ideal, a particular context, a particular body or a particular identity. When we do not have cultivation, we become sedentary. We lose the sedentary nature of ourselves. We become scavengers. Okay? So prior to Venus having the conjunction with Chiron, we were scavenging for a consistency in feeling stable in our emotional body, in our self-esteem, and in the identity that we found ourselves renewed in. We were scavenging for the support, scavenging for the help, scavenging for the validation, scavenging for the consistency and the stability and the value that we find in ourselves and the value that we know we should be able to find around us in our reality. We're also scavenging for means to finance the lifestyle that should go with the identity. Do not mistake my expression of lifestyle as some luxury bullshit, okay? When I say lifestyle what I mean is the 6th house that properly upholds the 10th house expression of the proper identity claim. Understand that. Let's get this right. Do not misconstrue the things that I say. So having said that, we may have found that we were scavenging to put these things together. We were scavenging to come up with the 2nd house as what should uphold the identity, what should stabilize the identity. Stabilize the identity, particular values, stabilizing the identity in a reality that reflects the things that the 1st house innately and Aries innately values. And how we manage and continue to procure and generate value, such as monetizing our reality, financing our reality, securing our reality, and having the necessary resources that sustains that status of the self, the identity and status claim of the self. So this is to realize that more work is to be done. And that work is in form of cultivation. We have to identify what needs to be cultivated, and that will come from the prescription of Dr. Chiron in its meeting with Venus in that conjunction. So those things will be homed in on in order to stabilize the identity, so we will not have to scavenge for the sense of fulfillment, support, and value that we should be able to realize to sustain the identity and uphold and fortify that identity. That is what gives us permanence, and that is what gives us a sedentary transition from being scavengers into sedentary cultivators of what we should expect tomorrow. Understand that. Cultivation process. Okay? Till the soil to mix the earth with the air. Understand that. To make sure the air and the earth can meet properly and blend properly. Till the soil, make sure the earth and the water and nutrients blends properly. And this makes for the promise of growth and development. Understand that. Now, Taurus is also the voice. Taurus is the voice. Know that. All right? This is the voice. The self has to have a voice. The self has to speak up. The self has to speak out. Okay, now notice Taurus Ceres and Taurus Venus transit. This all goes along with the 2nd decan entry of Black Moon Lilith and Sagittarius, which is the heretic. Okay, the heretic is the heretic because of their voice. Okay, it's because 9 times out of 10, it's because of their voice. the things they're saying, the things they're speaking, the things they are claiming, the things they are expressing outwardly. And that is Taurus, the voice. The self has to have a voice. So Chiron conjunct Venus could have been a glimpse into you seeing that the buck stops here, that this is the last time. I'm just going to be quiet about this. I'm just going to stop being silent about it. I'm going to say something about what I see. See something, say something. I got to say it. I got to make it known. I got to put it on record. And when it comes out, it makes you sound like you're a heretic. It makes you sound like you crazy. It makes it sound like maybe you disturbed. Oh, who hurt you? Type vibes coming back. People want to shame you back into position. People want to, try to get you to go back into the energy that they comfortable with. But no, it's too late. Pop goes the weasel. It's over now. I'm out the bag. Y'all shouldn't have let me get to this point. You see what I'm saying? So this is the version of yourself that stands as the heretic because of the things that you are now going to go around freely expressing and saying. You're like, I don't even care no more. I'm going to just let you know, Pop, this how I feel. This what I think. This what I see. This what I'm going to do. This what I ain't going to go. You got your voice now. So when you find your voice, your world changes. Your reality changes. Your relationships especially change. Your status changes. Everything becomes more authentic. It gets chaotic. It gets messy at first. Okay? At that. It gets chaotic and messy at first. But after a while, it's going to become more authentic and you're going to realize you are more free. You're going to realize that you are finally free and you use your voice to set yourself free. And that's by letting the truth flow from your voice, letting the truth flow through that throat chakra. You're allowing truth to flow from there and not hold it back or hold it in. Essentially, what this is sincerity. Taurus epitomizes sincerity. Taurus represents through and thoroughly sincerity. It is the sincere of the zodiac wheel. This is you living life sincerely now. This is you realizing who you are as a sincere person, not as someone who's trying to survive, not as someone who's just trying to get by painless, not just somebody who's trying to scoot through without getting hit or yelled at. You're not somebody who's just trying to escape scrutiny, judgment, or criticism. You're living free now. A whole new reality. But you gotta have the guts or it's no glory. I recommend for every person, go ahead and schedule behind the scenes to get personal insights and personal notes, details, information regarding the Chiron and Venus conjunction, as well as what you can expect that Venus is going to do based on this with Taurus. Also, Black Moon Lilith Sagittarius, second decan, what that means for you, and also not to be overlooked, Mars and Pallas Athena conjunction in Pisces. That is not something to underestimate as well, because that's key to how new value is going to be generated in consistency with Taurus. Understand that. So these are things you want to get with me behind the scenes on that. Like, share, subscribe, comment, ask questions if you need. Get active down below. Most important thing, be real, be authentic, and don't entertain fear.